your right, Coach Nick.
Jim, with that, you guys had on Wayne, you played a little bit of offense, a little bit of defense. With a couple guys out, do you think he'll maybe get more on defense at this point?
That's possible.
Yeah. Do you like what you see from him as an interior tackle, in that line?
Yeah, he played well. He played more snaps on offense, but he's somebody that played in the game, played well, stood out as a very good player in the game.
Coach, front left here, Chris.
It seemed like Grant Newsome was always downfield, getting to the next level. Can you talk about his play and the play at the left side of the line there, the young guys?
Yeah, Grant continues to be one of our top linemen. Kyle Kalis played extremely well at the right guard position. Mason Cole, very good. Eric Magnuson at right tackle, we thought was our best. And then Kugler and Bredesen had the share of the duties for the most part at left guard, and so it's still working, and getting that final five set. But I thought especially those four that I just mentioned played extremely well, and then Ben showed very good signs for the future at left guard.
Jim, you're right here.
Front left here.
Jim, with Grant Perry, what do you like best about him and assess his play in the game on Saturday?
That was very good. He also contributed on special teams, 11 downs on special teams. He's been a player that's been in the lineup all camp, every day, every practice, and it's his efficiency, his play was very good on Saturday. Thought he stood out as well.
Well, you mentioned him briefly on Saturday, but wanted to ask you what it meant to get Michael Hirsch in the game and what it's been like to work with him this month at camp and his attitude.
Oh, very positive, very, 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 very positive, very all positive around Michael, and he's been good in practice. He was good in the game. Has a great attitude, and all good being around him.
And Chris Evans mentioned yesterday or Saturday that you have a separate locker room for the freshmen during camp when they first get there. How long have you been doing that, and what's the purpose behind that?
There's a pretty big age difference between freshmen and seniors and fifth-year seniors. I like the class being able to come in, develop leadership, and be a group. Not get out into the varsity locker room. So there's a varsity locker room, a freshman locker room. It's really that simple. But several reasons why I think it's good, and been doing it a while. Yeah.
Coach, back over here to your left, Adam.
Jim, last week when I asked you about Biff Poggi, this past game looked like things were probably running pretty smoothly for you. So just wondering, did you have to talk with him? Did you consult with him over anything? And just kind of looking to get more understanding of his role and the way that you will interact with him during game days?
Yeah, we consult. We didn't consult during the game, and good man. Great to have on the team. Yeah.
Specific things that you would go to him with? There wasn't anything from this game that you went?
Yeah, I mean, as I tried to explain to you last week, and I hope that I don't know if this is going to be an every week thing for the press conferences, but this is a team effort. Everybody does a little, and it all adds up to being a lot. I mean, I don't think we share everybody's job description, but everybody's doing their job, and Biff's is a key member like everybody. I mean, everybody on our staff. There's no little people. Everybody has a role and contributes.
Coach, next going, John.
Mike McCray was Defensive Player of the Week in the Big Ten. Did he look as good on film as the numbers indicate?
Yeah, he was. He was good. I mean, he was outstanding tackles for loss, tackles, sacks, pressures. He was our defensive most valuable player of the game and got the most helmet stickers. Another indication of really good play. I mean, and he's been consistently good all through training camp, spring practice. Top performer on defense for us.
Coach, over to your right, Nick.
Jim, Khalid looked like, I know he scored a touchdown, but it looked like he's adjusted to that new spot pretty quickly in terms of lead blocking, everything else. Are you happy with his progression there with a new role?
Yes, very happy with his progression. He's had a lot of time in task playing the fullback position. He has practiced well at it. He's a natural at that position and doing very well. Henry Poggi was also extremely good in the game. Both those fullbacks continue to be our top two fullbacks, and the position seems very natural for them, and they're executing well.
And then the last one, Braden, do you expect anything on him this week, or is he still out?
Yeah, there's a good possibility that he could play this week. We'll judge by practice during the week.
Front here on the left, Chris.
Can you talk about Ben Gideon as well and what he brought on Saturday?
Yeah, top performer on defense. I really like our inside backers. Devin Bush played well too, but Mike McCray was outstanding. Ben Gidding was pretty darn close. Those two played outstanding, and feel like we're more athletic. Feel like we're in great hands in terms of two real good players up the middle. So you really strive for that on defense, kind of like in baseball. Be good up the middle, catcher, pitcher, shortstop, second baseman, center fielder. A lot true this for playing defensive football. You want to be good up the middle. Linebackers, the nose, the tackles, the safeties.
Delano played really well on Saturday too.
Mm-hmm.
How much did it help to have someone his size and speed? It seemed like he played very close to the line of scrimmage, was able to make a lot of plays in that box for you guys.
Yeah, he's physical as a safety and can cover on the back end. Made a great play, interception, return for a touchdown. Him and Channing Stribling both stood out in that way. But they played, the rest of the downs were real good too. Stribling and Hill both played, had real good games for themselves.
Time for a couple more questions, sir. Over here on the left, Adam.
Jim, addressing the running back play, Karan as well got some carries. He showed a little bit last year. Just your confidence in the ability of the running backs, the depth of the running backs.
Mm-hmm. Growing and getting better. Feel like that's a position that's ascending, and Chris Evans was extremely good. Even better when you watch the tape. Thought it was good things to get better at. Ty Isaac thought he had a good ball game for himself. Karan had some real good carries. And Kingston Davis, showed some things there at the end of the ball game. So we know what Davion can do, and we'll expect him back in the lineup this week. Again, much like Ben and a few guys, you got to see what practice looks like. But that position's coming along.
The front, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see out of Jabril in terms of him moving? I mean, could you see the effect that was having in terms of them Hawaii getting set and watching where he was and trying to identify him?
Yeah, it was really good. Jabril was, you look at our top performers of the game. I think Mike McCray, Jabril, Wilton Spate, those three. Jabril did it on defense and special teams, but showed up in the backfield, putting pressure on the quarterback, in coverage, in the return game on special teams, and in the cover game on special teams and on kickoff. So, those three were outstanding. And Brandon Watson, another top performer defensively and special teams.
Jabril wants to always do more. It seems like every time we talk to him, he says, I want to do more, I want to do more. Did you have to kind of sometimes say, okay, you don't need to, push this much, like in a blowout situation or something, he wants to keep going?
Well, he was up there tied for the most plays in the game, and we'll don't have to convince me. I'm all for Jabril doing more.
Coach in the middle, Matt.
Just two more injuries you haven't talked about yet. Noah Furbush and Drake Johnson. Can you update us on what their status is?
Yeah, they were both out for the ball game this past week. We'll see where they're at this week. No, maybe working through something a little bit longer than Drake. We'll see. Both being in that. Yeah, and along those lines too. Make the comment about Jordan Lewis again. I'll reiterate that. That was my decision based on he was getting close to being healthy enough to play in the game. He was working through something, had nothing to do with any off-field suspension. Heard about Ed Cunningham got way out over his skis, speculating that it was some kind of suspension. Jordan Lewis is one of the finest guys we have on the team. Football character and off the field character, just total character. So there's few, if any, better than Jordan Lewis. So just wanted to clarify that for the record.
All right.
Coach, we saw what your defense looked like without Ryan Glasgow toward the end of last season, and then he returned Saturday. What does he add? How is your defensive line different with him in there?
He was one of our top performers last year. So when he's in there, we got one of our top defensive linemen in there. When he's not, we don't. So it's a big difference.
And then with Kareem Walker, do you have an update on his status? We didn't see him Saturday.
He's working through some things academically, and we're less football and giving him the ability to concentrate on academics for the next weeks, and we'll get some progress reports. But I want to make sure that he's doing the job in that regard before football full time, or half the time. So full-time academics.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
Jim Harbaugh following Michigan's season opening win, largest margin of victory in any game for the Wolverines since 1975, just absolutely rolling over Hawaii.